Hey everyone, Ritesh Sharma here. In this session, we will introduce ourselves to Python. In this session specifically, I'll show you how you can install Python on your system, and then we will learn about data types, variables, and some arithmetic operators. And then finally, we will end the session with a simple program which can help you to output and print something on the screen. Without any further delay, let's get started.
So let us see how we can download and install Python on our system. The first thing you have to do is you have to go to your browser. Currently I'm on Chrome. So in your URL bar on your browser you have to search for python.org/downloads. Click enter and you will be directed to the Python's original page. On this page you have to click on this download button. When you will click on this button, it will ask you for the location where you want to store it. So let's say I want to store it inside this folder. I'll select this folder and I'll click on save. When it is saved, you will find an exe file at the bottom of your browser. Click on it and it will initiate the installation. During the initial steps of your installation process, you will get two options. Either you can customize your installation or you can install directly and almost everything will be installed. I will not suggest customized installation if you are a beginner. So right now this video is for beginners only. So what we will do, we will click on install now. It will start the installation process, but before that it will ask for the administrator's permission. Click yes and it will start the installation. I have actually installed, so I am pressing cancel right now. You can go through the process and it will install Python on your system.
So what is a data type? You must have seen and used variables in algebra, right? So let's write down an equation. For example, a plus b equals to 10. In this particular example, a and b are variables. A variable can store a value or a quantity. What kind of value or quantity a variable can save is called a data type. Let's take two variables like a and give it a value 1, and let's take another variable b and give it a value 10. What if I tell you to add both of them? So a plus b, the result should be 11. That makes total sense, right? But what if I give you another example? In this example, let's take a and store a value 1 in it, and let's take another variable b and store a in it. And then if I tell you to add both of these variables, what should be the result? That makes no sense, right? It seems like it is impossible. So it can raise some errors. In order to prevent such errors, you need to have the knowledge of data types. There are three basic data types in Python. First of them is int, second one is float, and the third one is string. In the first data type, you can store whole numbers only, like 1, 2 and 3, but you cannot store fractional values like 1 by 2. This you cannot store in integer type, right? And the range is unlimited, and the range is only limited by the amount of memory you are having on your computer. In the second data type, that is float, you can store the numbers with decimal points like 1.23 or 3.45689. You can store any number with a decimal point in it. The only limit in this data type is that you can store up to 15 decimal points. In the next data type, that is string, it is used to store factual information like names or any particular text if you need, etc. Moving on to arithmetic operators. You must have seen and used or implemented a couple of operations like addition, subtraction, division, and multiplication in mathematics. These symbols, what they do, they are used to perform a specific operation on the variables, like, or I can say data. So such operators which are used to perform arithmetic operations are known as arithmetic operators. Let me give you one example. Let's take an equation like a plus b equals to 5. In this particular equation, a and b both are called as operands. The plus sign in between a and b is called the operator, and as usual 5 is called a constant. So in this, as from from this picture you can tell that the operands are actually the variables or the data or the value on which the operation is being performed, and operator is the special symbol which is used to perform that specific operation. Okay, there are 7 basic operators in Python. So what are those? Let's see all of them one by one. So the first operator is known as the addition operator, also seen with a plus symbol. So what it can do is it is used to add 2 or more numbers. So I can say a plus b plus c, so far so on. So if you want to add variables, you can do that using the addition operator, and the addition operator works on 2 type of data types, that is integer and float, or both. Okay, next operator type is the subtraction operator, also denoted by the minus sign. It is used to subtract one value from another. So for example, a minus b, so it will subtract b from a and give you the result. The next one is the multiplication operator, okay, also denoted by the asterisk symbol. It multiplies 2 or more variables with each other and gives you the result. For example, here a equals to 5 and b equals to 2. So if you multiply a into 2, you get 10. Then you have the division operator. The division operator is used to divide 2 numbers. Okay, but technically it just not divides 2 numbers, it gives you the quotient after the division happened. So if I divide a and b, the quotient I will get will be the result which will be provided by this operator. Then you have an operator which I guess is new for all of you guys, is something called the modulus operator, also symbolized by the percentage sign. This is very similar to the division operator, but in this case it returns not the quotient but the remainder. So if you divide a by b, whatever remainder you will get will be the result which will be provided by this specific operator. The sixth operator is known as the floor division operator, also symbolized by the double / sign. It is used to divide two numbers, let's say a by b, and express the result as the greatest integer less than or equal to the quotient. So it will return the quotient just like the division operator, but it will give you the value in what? In int data type. Okay, and the value what it will return, let's say d is the value, d is the quotient it returned. It will return it in int type, and also the value of d will be the greatest integer less than or equal to the quotient. Then you have the last operator, also known as the exponent operator, symbolized by double asterisk or double star. What this is used for? This is used to find the exponent. Okay, so for example, let's say we have 2 raised to power 3. Okay, so what it can do, the operand on the left side of the symbol of what? This symbol is raised to the power of the operand on the right side. So you have operand on the left side and you have the operand on the right side. So what it will do, it will be written as like this: 2 double star 3. So both of these are equal. Okay, but in Python programming language you have to write this like this. Moving on to the next topic, that is variables. A variable is a name given to a specific location in memory. Okay, so let us take an example: a plus b equals to 10. In this particular equation, both a and b are variables. Plus sign is called as operator, and the number 10 is a constant. A constant can have a fixed value. In this case, the value is 10. Its value cannot change. But in case of variables, you can assign different values. For example, a can have the value 10, a can have a value 1.23. So a variable can store different values. Now, there are certain rules which you need to know about before defining a variable. So let us see what are the rules for defining a variable. The first rule is that the variable name should begin with either a letter, for example from small a to small z, or capital A to capital Z. Keeping in mind, for Python it is case sensitive, so both of these will be considered different. So either the name can start with letters or it can start with the underscore sign. The underscore sign. The second rule is that the other characters in the name can be letters or underscore or numbers. So for example, if I write a name like this. So if this is the name of a variable, this will be correct by the definition. But if I try to initiate a name like this, one name, then this will be wrong. The third rule is that the variables are case sensitive. As I told you, both of these small a to small z and capital A to capital Z will be considered different. So these are case sensitive. So small a and is not equal to capital A. So if in case I initiate a variable name like this, name, and if I initiate another variable with the same name, that is name, but here the first letter is uppercase and here the first letter is lowercase, so both of these will be totally different. The fourth rule is that the variable can be of any length, but we should keep the length of the variable name reasonably. Okay, so if I write the name of a variable like this, name1, so this is reasonable. But if I write the name of the variable like let's say name underscore of underscore person underscore 1, so this is not actually reasonable. Even though it makes sense, it is not reasonable, because if you will try to use it, or if you have to use it again and again, it will be hectic for you to type it again. The fifth and the last rule is that there are some reserved keywords, okay, like output or print, etc. All these keywords cannot be used as the name of variables in Python. So if in case you want to use, or if you want to store the output of your program in this, so this will be considered as an error. So there are some reserved keywords, you cannot use them as variable names. So that's all related to the rules of defining variable names in Python. Now let us see what is the conventional method of what are the conventional methods for writing the variable name. So let us see the conventions for writing a variable name. The conventions are, first one being, use readable names for the variables. If a variable name is made up of multiple words, like let's say student first name, in that case you can use either of the following options. Those are, either you can use camel case convention. What camel case means is that you can use uppercase letters for the second word, or you can use uppercase letter from the second word onwards. So if I write this variable, if I have to write this variable using camel case convention, then what I can do is that I can write that like this. So student first name. So as you can see, after the first word, the second word is starting with the uppercase letter, and the third word is also starting with the uppercase letter. So this convention is called the camel case convention. Then you have, or you can use underscores. You can use underscores to differentiate different words. For example, if I have to write the same name again, I can write that like this: student underscore first underscore name. So here you can see all the words can be differentiated. The second convention, which is used for writing a variable name, is you can use descriptive names, right? Or I should correct myself by saying you should use descriptive names. For example, if I want to calculate or if I want to store a student first name, then I should not write like SFT. This should not be the name of the variable. The name of the variable should be either like this or like this. So the name should be descriptive. The third and the last convention is that you should not use capital I or O inside variable names, because I looks very much like the number 1 and O looks very much like the digit 0.
In order to use Python, what you can do, you can click on your search bar and search for ideally, click enter, and it will open the idle shell. So what is idle shell? Idle stands for integrated development and learning environment. Here you can run your programs. If you have a single line of code which you want to execute, you can write it down directly here and you will be able to execute on the shell itself. But if you want more than one line of code, then you have to create a file. In order to create a file, either you can press the shortcut Control N, or you can go to File and select the new file option. A new file will be open, and here you can start coding. So the first command or the first code we are going to try is, or the first program we are going to try is the print hello world program. In that you use the print command and you print hello world on this shell. So I will use the print command like this, print, open braces and close braces, and that in these braces I will put double inverted commas. Inside those inverted commas I will put the text. So hello world. Before executing this code, I have to first save it, so I will press Ctrl S, or I can go here and I can click on save. It will ask me again for the location. I have to select the location where I want to save the file and for the name of the file. So let's name the file as test3 and save. Now after saving the file, you will see the name on top and also the location where it is saved. Then you can go to run and click on run module, and the output will be visible in the shell. So you can see the hello world is printed.